Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I am your host, and I remain Mazes. Okay. And thank you for joining me this evening. And thank you. I believe you can hear me loud and clear now. I believe you can hear me loud and clear. Hit the like button if you can hear me. Share this video, as usual. And if I would know where you are, I've seen MKN Wando or MK Wando as well already from Ireland. If you can let me know where you're watching me from. I believe this platform we have grown to be a trusted platform for everyone, both those of us at home and those of you in the diaspora. We are everywhere. Thank you once more. Everyone, Dublin, yeah, that's Dublin is Ireland now. Come on. Yeah, I like traveling, so that's why COVID they pepper me because obviously things are not yet opened up. Oh, I have Wale Muse Wale na Maududwa brother. Uche Ume says, "Are you from Ezinifite?" But of course, I am. I am from Ezinifite in Agota local government, and I can see I have people from Italy. Oh, Uche Ume from Los Angeles. Uche, you are blessed. Thank you for joining me. I reckon by what you asked me, you're also probably from Agota as well. So what is going to happen in the next couple of days, you see this beautiful custom-made t-shirt from Njenje Media. So we will begin to give it out for those of you that support us. And in the next couple of days or weeks, you will start seeing it in our merch shop. You can buy them from us, but we'll have a couple of them that we will definitely give out for those that support us. Okay. From BCN, Barcelona. See, as a traveler, you should know that. Thank you. So people, oh, Abraham, you're trying me. That is Sweden. Thank you, everyone. I like the love, but I need more likes from you guys. I need more like from you guys. Festus Ago from New York. New York. Listen, I can sing, Good evening, everyone. Uche M. One name from Apple. Watching me from Iceland. See, Iceland is one of the smallest countries. And I've asked Uche, how come and how did you even get into that small, tiny place? But see, I tell you people, anywhere you go and you do not see an Igbo man, pack your bag and baggages and begin to go home. That means there is no life. And thank you once more for joining me this evening conversation. Let's start. Where shall we start? It's no longer news to say that Nigeria is almost heading to a brick wall. That's no longer news. However, when we say that, people misinterpret that to be so many things. But when other people join in saying that, especially repentant, when I say repentant, I mean people who have repented, who once were in darkness, but they are now repented, that they can basically tell us, wow, we are sorry for the things that we said. And one of those men is Alhaji Buba Galadima. Oh, someone from Israel. I hope you're going to bring down European, Israeli technology. I hope you're going to bring down Israeli technology down to the motherland. Someone, okay, Agnes is watching from New York, Israel, and Zico said everybody wants to be like Nnamdi Kanu. God created all of us and gave us various strengths. So no one can be anybody. and nobody can be anyone. So we all have our duties, and they are all cut out for us. We all have our duties in life. So to kickstart with, let us once more, for those of you who are new to this channel, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly click the like button. Make sure you click on the bell notification whenever we post or whenever I come online. It will do bing bing on your phone to say, conjoin me. We'll start with Buba Galadima. Maybe. Let me start with Buba Galadima. Okay, Roger.
The country, because there is no local government in Nigeria that I don't know somebody or somebody doesn't know me, or I cannot pick my phone and call another person. 3 days ago, I spent the whole night listening to people from Gaidam, which is about 110 kilometers away from my village, and spent the whole night listening to people from Tara of Sabon Birni local government of Sokoto state that were under attack, and that attack lasted for 24 hours. It started at 3 p.m., and by 3 p.m. the following day, the fire was still raging on. In fact, Gaidam, the latest I heard is that as I speak to you now, the Boko Haram made 2-3 trips back into the town and foisted their flags. It is only prayers and God that can.
Stop. Alaji, I would have joined you in this prayer if God has not given us the solution. You know, we are basically, it's so sad that we are what the Creator has given us the solution to, that is within us to solve, is what we are still bugging Him. You know, sometimes I ask myself, if I'm God, any prayer that comes from Nigeria, I would flog the person. Honestly, I will flog the person. Because you can't imagine where solutions are given. Now he's saying here they are being attacked. Sad that these things are happening. However, the solution is not that you pray. The solution is, one, you stand up and defend yourself. Two, that there is a government, apparently, quote unquote, in there saying, we are going to protect you. Give us your vote. We will protect you in return. As I explained to us the other day, social contract. You sit your right to, if not, we'll turn into a mafia kind of solution, or maybe Southern Sudan or Sudan, where everybody, a group of people are warlords, and they, ask yourself. I have a friend, I have someone here who said that he's watching from Israel. For Christ's sake, Israel don't just sit down praying, oh, we are God's people, we are God chosen people. Oh, or Saudi Arabia doesn't sit down and start saying Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, oh, blah, blah, blah. They don't do the needful. What the hell is going on? Why are we the only people that's basically outsourcing the essence of leadership to an unseen being, to the supreme being, for him to take charge? Have we finished doing what we ought to do? The answer is no. We haven't even started, because this evening, this interview that he granted to AIT is going to expose what is actually happening. And I'm glad he did. Look.
Save Nigeria. And the solution is not far-fetched. I have told a platform this morning that it is not arrogance. It is not big head. We have to succumb to the eventualities of the situation today in the country. The military is overwhelmed. The military is overstretched. The military is underarmed. and the military is not receiving any motivation. Their morale is low. They cannot do what we would expect them to do, which is supposed to be their job. We are like sending our children directly into the gallows. That is what it means. But there was a solution. Somebody tried it. Somebody that we have accused and called names, called Dr. Ebele Goodluck Jonathan. When he came under pressure in 2015, he...
Stop. Again. When he came under pressure. Buba Galadima, you know, your sins are forgiven because you're now speaking the truth. But you were among those that actually attacked Jonathan and called him names. You are among those that, you know, actually helped in the Leahy law in the United States that the Nigeria then couldn't bombs or ammunition to prosecute this war. You were among those men that said they needed not to sell arms to them. Have you found your footings? Now you're exposing it. The same thing. You're saying it now that the same man you people accused and lied against, that he was not doing anything, that actually he was the one that did. The other day I played us a video where the South African mercenary was saying and was talking about actually how they actually routed these guys out. Now you're saying it, the military is underfunded, the military is this, the military is that, but the same military, we are told, the same, listen, we can actually look at it. A report by Sahara Report, I came in here, that in the last 6 years, 2015 till now, that Nigeria, hold on, let me quickly find it, that Nigeria, there is insecurity everywhere. We have spent trillions, yet there is insecurity everywhere. And that is actually, Nigerian government blew 10 trillion on worsening insecurity in 6 years. Go and see, that is on Sahara Reporters. Okay, so these are people that actually, you know, worked hard, but again, it's he can be forgiven because I think he's found his path back to common sense.
He stopped the election by 6 weeks and imported mercenaries into the country. After 6 weeks, election was able to be held in every polling booth of this country. And we promised the nation that we can sort out the security challenge because we have experienced people, tested people supposedly. We can right the wrongs of economy, and this is where we find ourselves. There is something coming in this situation, which Nigerians don't know, and I want them to know, because with death, then we have become exposed, we have become vulnerable.
You know, I said this again. When Idriss died, the Chadian president, I gave, you know, I did a video, I said, how come we have a man who promised his people he was going to lead from the front, and he's leading them from the front. When the war got to a point that he said no, he put on all his armor, his boots, his gun, and he went to the field. Sadly, in our own country, we have a man who also promised us he is going to lead from the front. But sadly, he is almost becoming an oracle that can only speak through a third party. You know, oracle, where you do you do your cowries and like they do with the masquerade, and it does, and somebody tells you, yeah, more easy, and it says, more, see this one, and this another one does, because can you imagine? We don't even, you have somebody you elected, he since the NSAS October last year, he doesn't care. I mean, why bother actually? Because in the last 6 years, he didn't even bother speaking to anyone. So he was not going to change.
Not only in Nigeria, but in almost all the countries surrounding Nigeria.
The Sahara region.
That is Central Africa and West Africa. Idriss Deby has about 2,000 strong, armed, brave men that is holding fort for the government in Niger Republic. Idriss Deby has got unknown number of military people that is now propping the government in Mali. So also he has military people in Burkina Faso. He is the one that is managing the security in Central African Republic. And he's the one that is assisting Nigeria and Cameroon to stop the overtake of our territory by Boko Haram. Today, Idriss Deby is no more. He was in Nigeria only 5 days to his death and signed a memorandum, security memorandum with the Nigerian government. Yet, when no Nigerian official, let alone a high-ranking person, was sent for his burial. And it was an opportunity for the entire West and Central African sub-region. Now that the French president came on Friday, it was for them to sit down and look at the security situation with the vacuum created by General Idriss Deby. Our president didn't attend. I think all Nigerians will come out to really show their concern for the inability of Mr. President to attend that burial and hold a meeting with world leaders. It is a known fact that the Chadian government is the eye and the ears and the heart of the French government in Africa. Therefore, and Chad now is facing a rebellion, a civil war, because of the tribes that killed him.
Okay, he was killed by a particular tribe?
Of course, he was killed by
yes.
And those people, you should know that.
Are you seeing a pattern here? Ungratefulness. A man who fought Boko Haram from Chad into 25 kilometers into Nigeria and said if he was given the opportunity, he would rout them out and take Shakal out. And our pot-belly generals were all saying, oh, okay, what's going to happen? No, it's our job. You're invading the territorial integrity, blah, 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 yati, yati. And what then eventually the man withdrew? Sadly, that he died. That's one of the things that I keep saying. You know, Western democracy, yeah, but must it actually be practiced in every African country? Because, you know, let every country, you know, do whatever, suits them. Yes, he's been there for long, but I tell people, he's been there for long. He keeps winning election. How he does it, I do not know. But Mugabe was also, that is an African dilemma. Whenever they go and they get into office, it appears there is a super glue that follow them around, get stuck in their butts, get stuck in that presidential seat. You know, we are seeing it now with the Yadima, that if you give them the chance, they would stay uncountable times, am I saying. Buba Galadima made salient points, excellent submissions. You know, at the end of the day, the bottom line is, at the end of the day, the bottom line is that these guys are not doing the right thing. You can't imagine an ally who has helped you, and you understand that he was killed by a certain tribe in his community or in his country. You could not even go show that sign, big brother. Well, it appears that the giant, quote unquote, that people refer you as is probably becoming, as I normally say, the giant that walks on a mosquito limb. But be that as it may, let's continue and listen to Buba Galadima.
In territory held by General Khalifa Haftar, and Khalifa Haftar is being supported by Saudi Arabia, is being supported by Egypt, is being supported by Qatar, is being supported by UAE, and at the background, Russia. And there are now 4 rebel groups heading to N'Djamena, the capital of Chad. What is concerned is that some of them are coming from the Kanem region, some of them from the southern Sudan axis, some of them from Faya Lerdu, Abache region, and some of them directly from the Ouz Strip, all coming into N'Djamena. N'Djamena, the capital. Okay. Some of them are less than 70 kilometers to N'Djamena.
So what are they? What are their?
So the likely thing now, because 2 days ago, the Supreme Military Council in Chad sat down and said they will not negotiate with any bandit that has a hand in the killing of General Idriss Deby. If Nigerian leader were to be there with the French president, they would have called all the groups in the conference, all the 4 groups, including the Chadian government, sit them down.
Another missed opportunity. You see, that's what we talk about. Another missed opportunity, really. Another missed opportunity. Just laughing seriously. Bishop Udo, what's funny? You know, let's
and persuade them not to compound the issues for Africa and this COVID-19 wahala that is facing us.
What relationship does this have with Nigeria? The issue in Chad and insecurity.
You don't know that it is Chad that is helping to maintain the Nigerian security from the northeast sub-region?
Oh, yeah.
The multinational joint force uses Chadian equipment, uses Chadian personnel, military, because one thing you must give the Chadian soldiers, they are very brave, they are very courageous, they are very resilient, they can work under any condition.
Buba Galadima indirectly told us here that the Chadians are very brave. Ours are so pot-bellied. Buba Galadima, that is the insinuation of what you're saying. Of course, they are very brave. When you look at them, look at their president, Obonko. You know, he looks like one of them.
Not even to die. And that is why Idriss Deby, as president, sitting president of Chad, left his comfort zone and flew to the war front where he met his death. The soldiers that Chad has, they had, when Idriss Deby, some 6 months ago, walked into Nigeria by wiping out the Boko Haram on the Chad.
Exactly, that's what I alluded to.
And when he wanted to
not some free
compel
people,
Nigeria to allow him to
general.
finish the job by picking Shekau at Dikwa, they refused him and started calling him names. And he got annoyed and said he was even going to pull out from the multilateral
and he went home.
Forces. Now, if Chad is embroiled in a civil war, which is imminent
and
now,
Chad is very small.
these people not negotiating with others, it means his troops in Niger, in Burkina Faso, in Mali, and in Central Africa.
So that makes us vulnerable.
People, we are getting into more trouble. We are getting into more trouble.
Then where do we go to?
We are getting
with the military now overstretched on our land.
Honestly, we don't know what is coming.
The solution is simple. For me, first, the president must establish a war cabinet because we are in war. Where every morning, 9 o'clock, they will sit down to review the security situation.
See, isn't that why he was voted for? He's told you that he is a general. So a general who does not know that in this kind of situation, if it's in the United Kingdom, many of you watching me from UK, you know, if something like this happened in the UK, the Prime Minister would establish what they call the Cobra. And they would have to, you know, review the danger and know how, if it's the risk rating or the alarm, if it's going to be high or low. But here we are on the same speed. Even if it's the house is burning, we are working what's it called, chameleon, Ogumagara. He doesn't care. He doesn't run. Oh, he works chameleonic. That is actually Iberiberized Iberiberism that is worrying us. Wallahi. Eh?
In the past 24 hours in Nigeria. If the president is not disposed into doing that, he should get the vice president, chair that committee.
Vice president.
Or get the national security advisor to do that.
Listen, any nation, and this applies to Nigerians, any nation that wishes to take their third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 11 as opposed to their first 11 is doomed. And that's what Nigeria is doing in their political sphere. You will see thieves, you will see thieves being elected to guide Yambam. You will see them. They will come in, they will loot all the state money, buy convoys like as if they are going in, running into mortuary. And you watching me now, you will start singing their praises. After singing their praises, you go and vote for them. Some of you in Nigeria, you will collect 10,000, 5,000, 2,000, even 3. If some of you, even rapper, does the magic. Or you get one bag of rice, you shit them, you don't come out. Yeah? Until we begin to say no. Well, you know, look at what he's saying. What he's saying makes sense. Osibanjo is very, very active. Sometimes, to be honest with you, sometimes I wish he was the president. Sometimes I wish he was the president. Huh? You can't just get people, oh dear. And Osibanjo is just trying to be political. The reason why he's not speaking, I read when some of us say, where is the vice president? Is he hiding? I just feel like maybe some of you don't understand what's happening. Osibanjo is navigating a landmine. Remember when Buhari was sick in 2017, the legislative arm was invaded by the DSS. DSS is directly under the presidency, and he got annoyed. And he queried who gave them this order to go invade the legislative arm. There and then, he fired Daura, who was the head of DSS. That sent shock in their spine. Oh, you know, something like that is what the current president never does. He doesn't, maybe he's aloof, maybe he doesn't understand. By that firing alone, he upset the power that be. That's why, you know, sometimes I pity him because it appears he's sometimes being sidelined. And he himself, having understood what is happening, he doesn't want to create friction because governance is not about, you know, if you're in government, you don't come online and talk as many of us would, you know, say it the way it is without minding whose house is God. That's why very unlikely that people like me will get into elected posts because there are things I couldn't, honestly, I can walk away on people. Like I tell people, if I'm a senator today and they start talking some of this rubbish that they talk in the National Assembly, what I will do, I mean, you know, maybe people will know me as the man who always walks away. If I feel that I am so overwhelmed, in order to register my anger and to tell my people that what you're doing is not right, I'll walk away. But
every morning, every morning review what had happened within 24 hours.
Exactly.
That is one.
Why can't he do it?
No big head. No, all agencies of government, all tiers of government to do their own proper job, not sharing money alone. We've taken loans running into billions of naira. Last week, the National Assembly approved loans for Mr. President. Have they asked all the trillions that they have approved in the last 6 years? Sure. It's okay, you are not corrupt. You've borrowed this. What have you done with it? What have they done with the money in your state?
No, Alaji, I have seen some of the documents released, and I have also seen some links sent to me on what the government is doing in infrastructure, the railway.
Oh dear. When I hear about this government infrastructure, it makes me laugh. When I hear about Second Niger Bridge, it makes me laugh. In as much as I want that bridge to be done, it's an infrastructure that is long overdue. But for Christ's sake, we must stop this madness that this bridge, you're not doing us a favor. There's going to be a target to it. By the way, it's not federal government's money. It's a PPP. So, he would basically clarify that here.
Program and all that. Some of these things have been documented, and I've been able to go through some of the documentation.
You are a good journalist. The second Niger Bridge is not federal government money. PPP.
Yeah.
So please.
Yeah, that's true. It's PPP.
Don't tell me it is.
Exactly, it's PPP.
Railway, from where to where? From Lagos to Ibadan. The one from here to Kaduna was constructed by Abacha, and even the wagons were brought at the port. They were not cleared until it was started during Yar'Adua's time, the clearing. I know this because I have been.
Listen, Nigeria is a messed up place. Look at when Abacha died in 2008. Look at when Yar'Adua took over. 2008. 1998, right? And look at when 1998 till when Yar'Adua came in 2007. That's like freaking, jeez, that's like over 10 years. You brought in cargoes and you left them to be in the port, just like when Obasanjo was invited, or rather, when they were trying to do this power project, that turbines were imported from Canada and all the rest, and they basically left everything to rot. I don't know how a people can be so destructive. Only thing they want is money from all strata, from all regions. It's about money. How come? Why are we like this?
A member of delegation that had gone to China several times with General Gumel and Sabon Birni, Director of Railway Services, both late. So nobody will sit down. We know history. They can't do that. We know. Let them tell us what they had done, they themselves. Whatever is the case, no Nigerian try, because they have made any.
You see, that is it. They've made promises, and none of those promises were fulfilled. Which one? Insecurity. From fighting Boko Haram, today we fight Boko Haram, we fight Ansaru, we fight ungunned men, we fight which one again? Headsmen, we fight local bandits, we fight indigenous kidnappers, we fight streets. Jesus Christ. I mean, and again, the mistake we make is that we cannot lump all these groups. All these things are distinct, and they should be treated differently with different strategy. Sadly, it appears there is no strategy at all. Not to even talk about strategy distillation, to say you distill it, you begin to portion each one of them where they ought to belong. That is absolutely insane. Anyway, let's get to solution. So, Buba Galadima, what are you proposing now
And
as
you
your
think
solution?
everything is just well?
So, Alaji, before you go, as an elder statesman, you have the understanding, you have the knowledge. You read wide, because even when you talk, I know that you read so much to have this information. Lastly, before we go, in the next few minutes, we'd just like you to advise this government, because there's nothing we can do without the government, as well as also advise the people, Nigerians, what should we do to secure lives.
What is important in advising this government, even though I know they will never take it, because once you say anything, they classify you against us. Give them the best of advice, they will not take. I said during the course of this program that the way out is that we can see maybe the president is not strong enough to give 24 hours of his time for this work. Let him please, for God's sake, anoint anybody, even if it is his son, somebody that is active, that can act on his behalf, so that people sit down to analyze all these issues every 24 hours and propose solutions.
Okay.
And one of the solutions is that they must seek to use intelligence and technology in order to defeat this hydra-headed octopus insecurity in our country.
All right.
Lastly, since the military is overwhelmed, the best they could do is please hire Mercedes. It is going to be cheaper for us to advise our military on the way to sort out this insecurity.
All right. All right, Alaji.
You said the people.
No, because time.
But
Okay,
I can take land. Now, we have no electoral act on the ground for the last 11 years. Since 2010. All of us Nigerians must put pressure on this government to give us a befitting, justiciable electoral act that can assist in determining the best of elections of the standard that is befitting of a Nigeria. Right. Nobody alone can do it. Buba Galadima cannot do it. No political party alone can do it. It is all Nigerians that must put hands on deck to ensure that this happens. Or else, these people will force another person on us, and we will have only ourselves to.
You know, when Buba Galadima talked about they might force somebody on us, my mind went towards somebody you and every one of you know that is seriously making inroads and to contest the presidency. And watching that individual's utterances, he appeared a little bit, even more a bad product than the current president was in 2015, both health-wise, in articulation, in stamina and otherwise. But again, Buba Galadima already fired the first salvo there, actually saying it. But again, I'm not going to get into it before I am misunderstood and I'm not named. But I think any observer of the political happenings in Nigeria should know whom I am referring to. Now, again, what is the solution? Maybe before I get to Enyinnaya Baribe, who is profiling solution, I saw where John Okolie from Germany is asking, can't he resign? You see, John, he appear not to understand what I'm trying to tell us. These are a bunch of people that the moment they go to the chair, that anything, sometimes I don't know if it's an African thing. This is a primordial way of thinking, where even if he wants to, remember, I think he didn't want to actually contest the 2019, but his people, remember, the same thing happened to Goodluck Jonathan. When Asari and all of them came out and said, no, it is our town, Jonathan, you cannot. It's not even for you to decide. It's this kind of African thing that no one really, really thinks deep about what it means for the community, for the people, for the unborn children. No, it's about them. This is a case of clear incompetence. If you have, without any election, you want anyone to take over, I would say I have seen personally the competence of Professor Yemi Osibanjo, a very good erudite professor. But Nigeria has a way, just like as in the time of Alex Ekweme and, against Shehu Shagari, Nigeria has a way of always using their best as spare tires. It happens in states. It happens in, beyond the state as well. Anyway, let's see what Abaribe has to talk about our conversation this evening.
This APC-led government at inception and during the campaigns prior to the 2015 elections made promises to the Nigerian public. The first of which that they were going to with security, and that there will be nothing like security challenges and most unfortunately, from 2015 to date, rather than resolving the security situation,
it's getting worse.
The APC-led federal government has rather broadened the security challenges that we were. And so, from the problems of the Northeast, it has spread to the Northwest, to the North Central, to the Southeast, to the South-South, and the Southwest. And virtually every part of this country is now beset with one security challenge or the other.
Exactly. The whole place.
We therefore,
West, everywhere just running.
As a caucus, suggest
like an old man who say,
that immediate steps should be taken by the government at all levels to set up proper security, whether in the mode of the state police and other constitutional reforms, to be able to arrest the drift.
Now, my good brother and my friend, Engineer Baribe, I think this is where you people are just engaging in mere rhetorics. I would say, if you people have the power to do something here, especially the opposition. We can sit down, regurgitate, push back on how things are not working. They are sir. I want to see a bill in the, somebody move a motion for the president to resign. Because the other time we saw Smarter Demi almost right in the floors of the Senate. And so afterwards, you invite the president, he doesn't come, he doesn't care to come, he's been told not to come, even by his own party. Kids are kidnapped, he speaks to no one, not to the families, like every other person with empathy would have, called on the telephone. And in some cases, if he cannot travel, since he, as they say, the Muhammad can go to the mountain, then let the mountain come to Muhammad. invite them, sit down, empathize with them. He doesn't do that. Address you.
Of the nation. The caucus also expresses very strong reservations about the economic strategy of the government, which has culminated into what is called quantitative easing, but which the ordinary man knows as printing money. And we feel that this strategy has led us to the very high inflation that we have today, devaluation of our naira to heights that we never expected. And it has also concomitantly brought out unemployment and has also...
Anyway, my good brother, well said. All his own line here is people, at the end of the day, like Ekwam here said, the problem is that in Nigeria, when one region is suffering, the other regions look away, and though the problem spreads. I can see the attitude actually that led and exacerbated this, that really increased this. It's as a result of exactly what he said. When people, look at the solutions as something abstract, oh, it doesn't concern us. It's happening in their region. It is their problem. They brought it upon themselves rather than doing it jointly to solve the problem. On the other, on the flip side, you would also understand that sometimes the central government doesn't actually give that confidence, as if even if you want to help, that help is at all needed. Sometimes that's the way it comes across, therefore causing more confusion than solving any problem. Now, if we pan around, if we move around, and we'll get to the point where we now start looking at the rampant kidnapping. There is this video again that came out yesterday where a woman was interviewed by Root TV, and the woman said that they contributed money to bail, or rather to rescue their children, the money they paid as ransom. Yet today, the president, when the 27 kidnapped, the Kaduna students were rescued, today the president made a tweet saying they are happy that blah 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 that's happened, and I'm like, well, happy with people have been paid, okay? But listen to this woman and understand what this woman is saying. Let's pay attention to the names the woman will mention. You tell me, if this is a working nation, these names by now, shouldn't they be questioned? Listen.
And be wisdom and not have husbands. I just train this boy to help me tomorrow. Please, he said that one no concern. Who will be the person? The person is a Fulani. They invite him to come for one office for Kaduna there. We just try the beggar. He said no. He said until you pay so amount. He said we don't have much. He said almost 500 million.
Initially, they asked, they were after the government paying that money, 500 million. So anytime they call, like me in particular, they kept calling me, Madam, Kijeki Magana the government, that I should go and talk to the government so that they will go and pay that money. So all I kept telling them was, I am a widow. I cannot have access to the government. Maybe if my husband were to be alive, maybe you know somebody who will help him to talk to the government. But I am a widow. I cannot have access to the government. So I kept telling them the same thing.
You see, they kept you know, let me, I think something was missed at the beginning. Let me quickly bring this back again. I think I missed something here quickly. I think, something is obviously playing now.
How
Hold on.
much have you people?
Let me see if I think it's the same video. Hold on.
They do meeting, they do committee meeting, then carry us to Gumi side, then carry us to Gumi side, and
Did you hear that? Did they do meeting? Did they do meeting? They carry us to Gumi's house. Listen again.
they do meeting, they do committee meeting, then carry us to Gumi side.
They do meeting, they do committee meeting, they carry us. For those of you who do not understand Pidgin English, it means they met, they went on to their committee caucus meeting, and we were taken to Gumi's house. Again, in full blown hair, listen to the woman once more.
They do meeting, they do committee meeting, then carry us to Gumi side.
Then carry us to Gumi's house.
And we do meeting, he said we could meet Ahmed.
Okay. You see, make you meet Ahmed. Make you meet Ahmed. Now, that's Ahmed Gumi. Ahmed Gumi. Do the mathematics yourself. Simple. Google who Ahmed Gumi is. Whatever you find, my armpits are well shaven. Not me talking. I just repeat what a woman talk. DSS, take note. Don't climb my fence this night, please. At the beggar. Now, so we don't reach. Everybody go the para. When you hear something like this, it tells you something. That all is not well. All is not well. And further than that, I seriously feel as the owner of WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, once said that the reason why wars do happen, not that the people actually want war, but sometimes that the media are being tilted to certain reportage in order for this war to happen. Have a listen. And I think this is a food. That's where I will leave us with. This is a food for thought for all of us listening this evening.
To a war. So if we have a good media environment, then we'll also have a peaceful environment. Well, our number one enemy is ignorance. And I believe that is the number one enemy of everyone. Is not understanding.
The other one is ignorance, he said. Second one, ignorance. Think about it. Reasons why some of us do this and to distill information, drill it down without really garnishing it and embellishing it, is for maybe for them, some of us to begin to really think deeper than what is happening. Also to some propaganda materials that fly all over. That when we begin distilling proper information is going to help us to be more informed as to what is actually happening.
It's only when you start to understand that you can make effective decisions and effective plans. Now, the question is, who is promoting ignorance? Well, those organizations that try to keep things secret.
Now, who is promoting ignorance here? Just oppose this, narration now to Nigeria. Who is promoting ignorance? Why do we have so many Amajiris streets? Whereas if you go to other Muslim countries, they do not have the same level of, why do we hide under the toga of religion that we can marry so many wives, impregnate so many women as much as possible, and with the, some sort of brainwashed thinking that it doesn't matter, just give birth to much children as you can, let them go to the street, no plans. And these are, the cake that we ate yesterday is now telling all the tales. You don't get pot belly by fasting. It's all the things, all the cholesterol, all the fat stuff that you eat on controlled hours, you're not exercising, and all these things will eventually come down, and your body would have to do what your body has to do. your tummy begins to, you might get 10 months, 12 months, 13 months pregnant, actually, by the size of your tummy. And that's the same way here. What we are getting in Nigeria as it is today is a clear case of neglect that has happened over the years on all strata. No exception. Don't think, oh, Southeast is not like this. Oh, yeah, it's only not. No. It's everywhere. Do not be deceived. Tell me, because if you say South is not like that, and I'll ask you, tell me one state or local government that has running water in the Southeast or in the Southwest. Nowhere. So if they don't have running water up north, you don't have running water up south. If they don't have not running water in the Northeast, neither you here, you don't have running water. Everyone is drilling borehole like the world is going to collapse tomorrow morning. That's in pure insanity.
And those organizations which distort true information to make it false, misrepresentative. In this latter category, it is bad media. It really is my opinion that the media in general are so bad, we would have to question whether the world wouldn't be better off without them altogether. There's some very, very fine journalists, and we work with many of them, and some fine media organizations, but the vast majority are awful and are so distortive to how the world actually is, that the result is we see wars and we see corrupt governments continue on.
Well, I think I so much love these soapbox, because at the end of the day, there is so much distortion. There is so much fake news. Honestly, sometimes you open your WhatsApp, 80%, if not 90% of all the forwarded messages is just pure garbage. Pure garbage. When I say garbage, utter garbage. And people just chunk them. And sometimes I have asked myself, people actually make money from writing such garbage? Or to what end actually? To what end do we do this manner of nonsense that really happen? But here we are. A minister was exposed, and everybody, even the presidency came to defend. Here we are. The parents, as you watched, said that they paid. The woman said they were asked 500 million as a collective, not only her, all the children. And no one is addressing that issue. You say the president should resign for incompetence. Someone tells you it's hate speech. Come on. Come on. Come on, people. Sometimes you just think, can it get lower than, can it ever get lower than what is now happening? At least before you can say, okay, there are some level of conflict in the Northeast. Okay, people could, the other region can actually, but here it's insanity everywhere. In the Northeast, in the Northwest, in the Southwest, in the Southeast, is the South or the Eastern region, everywhere is a clear case of leadership failure. I repeat again, if we had a listening government, yes, there are insecurity in the Sahel region. Yes, we have a lot of things happening, but it is time you could actually mobilize the citizens to help out. But they must be mobilized. There are times you begin to look at, okay, you begin to look at quote unquote evil and say, okay, which one can I deal with? There are some evil that you can actually contend with by pure engagement, by listening to them. Why are you doing this? Can we sit down and talk? That's why I keep saying it. In Igbo, we say, conversation is an act. Conversation. I was explaining to a friend today. I said to him, have you ever wondered why in Igbo nation, you go to your clans meeting, you go to Monna meeting, you don't vote to make a decision? Because everybody is given the chance to speak his or her mind. Conversation is an act. At the end of the day, without voting, everyone agrees this is what we are going to do. Ask yourself, how does it happen? All you hear is, okay, chairman, boko dioku, boko oku. Because everyone has aired his or her views. At the end of the day, the chairman or whoever is presiding will now say, it's the decision. And over 95% of the time, those decisions are binding and are not objected by anyone. Why and how did you get to that point? Because you listened, you paid attention, you allowed people to speak. And that's why, and that is, when people say, you people keep every time talking, no action. No, speaking on his own is a form of action. Speaking and listening is not a waste of time. Hence, we keep doing this every time, listening to ourselves, by way of, reading the comments, interacting with you, and for us to have a better understanding of what is happening around us. People, I must say thank you very much this evening for joining me. And those of you who are inquiring about the Enugu International Airport, yes, Enugu International Airport, I have been on it. But the good news is that Port Harcourt resumed. The NOTAM was issued. Port Harcourt resumed day before yesterday. International flights to Port Harcourt resumed. Enugu was meant to resume 2 days ago, which is on Tuesday, but there is a slight delay. The reason I know, but I guarantee you I spoke with the team today. They are working on ground to resolve what is holding Enugu. We hope that Enugu hopefully should be back on stream within the next 2 weeks. So that is that. There are things that happen in Nigeria. Sometimes I get angry and they say, are you no longer in, are you no longer? I'm like, listen, all the time it was open, the thing that is holding it now could have been solved. But again, in Nigeria, everybody wants to maximize the opportunity whenever they think there is one to maximize. Be that as it may, sadly, again, as I said, that is in our human nature. It has become part of our DNA. On that note, maybe 1 or 2 minutes to take some of your comments and questions, then we'll call it a day. Thank you very much for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please kindly do. Like and share the video for others to see that you like this video and this conversation is also helpful to you. Ekwem said, do you believe this was happening in Ghana and Rollins was alive? This is too hypothetical. I don't want to attempt that. But again, I think before Rollins died, he was actually almost regretting the actions that he took. Because in one of his interviews that I listened, he was saying, all this that we've done is virtually, all the lives that we lost virtually was done in vain. Because eventually those things, those vices that he thought he could stop by any means necessary are virtually back again in the Ghanaian team. I thank you very much for the appreciation. No, I don't take that lightly. Okay. Obviously everyone should get, let's all of us start speaking up, because if many of us are speaking up, then the risk of picking one person or the other becomes minimal. And Joyce, I agree with you. We need to be clear, everyone to start afresh. I wish there is a way to, just hit the reset button. I wish it's that easy. I will wait everybody go to bed. When you go to bed, I'll just sneak in and turn off the light, flip the switch, boom, let us start afresh. That's what I honestly would have done if I had the powers to do so. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much. I love you all, and I honestly appreciate that you all would come, stay with me, have this analysis, make your contributions in form of the messages you type. Sadly, I won't be taking calls today, but I hope, Nigeria is a nation of 1 week, one trouble. On that note, I will say good night and good evening.